The worst wave in the Booster Course Pass was without a doubt Wave 1. Now, that's not to say that it's a bad wave. It's actually a pretty solid wave in my opinion, but let's be real, all of the waves that happened after Wave 1 just got so much better. It is understandable that Wave 1 is one of the most hyped wave because it was the one that started the entire Booster Course Pass as a whole, so that generated a lot of hype to begin with, but there are quite a few reasons why it's just not my favorite. For one, later waves put in so much extra effort to put in more content than just the courses, so by comparison, Wave 1 just doesn't have a lot to show for it. Also, I'm sorry, but if there's parts of a track that fans wanted back, but when they initially released Wave 1, they didn't bring it back, so fans were clamoring about it, and then when Wave 2 drops, then they bring the feature back, that's how you know that Wave 1 launched with some rough patches. And rough patches there were, man, compared to the rest of the waves, Wave 1 definitely had the roughest look imaginable. It doesn't seem like they took a lot of time to care about the appearance of a lot of the tracks, and personally that doesn't matter too much for me, but when you compare it directly with the rest of the waves, now that we see fully what we got, yeah, Wave 1 kind of looks a little rough looking back at it. Coming in at number 5, we got Wave 2. Now Wave 2, just like Wave 1, only brought the 8 courses. That's not to its fault because in the future waves is when they start bringing extra content, but Wave 2 again, 8 courses, no extra content or no stat changers or nothing like that, but in my personal opinion, the 8 courses that we did see in Wave 2 are a lot better than the ones we saw in Wave 1. For example, we got DS Waluigi Pinball, Tour Sydney Sprint, which is an underrated banger. We got Wee Mushroom Gorge, a remake of GBA Snowland, which just looks so much better than the original. We also got Calamari Desert, which infuses Calamari Deserts 1 and 2 from Tour. And we got Tour New York Minute, which I know isn't a favorite amongst many, but I'm a little biased towards it since I am physically located the closest to New York Minute more than any of the other city tracks we got in Tour. And then honestly, Sky High Sunday was pretty darn good too. The only really rough track was SNES Mario Circuit 3, and honestly on 200cc, even that track is fun to race on. So just by sheer track quality alone, Wave 2 edges out Wave 1 and is my number 5 pick for the waves. Coming in at number 4, we got Wave 5. Don't get me wrong, it is still a fantastic wave and honestly brought back possibly my favorite character in the entire game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, PD Piranha. I was so hyped when they brought back PD Piranha, but not even PD can save this wave, especially compared to the waves around it. We did also get 2 other characters. We got Wiggler and Kamek. Those were neat additions, but characters that I necessarily wouldn't be playing with that much or ones that I wasn't clamoring for. PD was really the main one and I'm so happy we got him, but the other ones are just nice additions. In terms of the courses, we got a couple of great ones, but then also a couple of courses that I was just a little bit mixed about. For example, Vancouver Velocity, banger. Athens Dash, banger. Moonview Highway, also kind of a banger. And Squeaky Clean Sprint, not one of my favorites, but is also a pretty darn solid track, original location, so props to that as well. But we also kind of got a couple of lackluster tracks. Now, don't hate me, but Koopa Cape is kind of all right, not one of my favorites. They really messed up the ending of that track. Daisy Cruiser is also just kind of all right. Like, it's a fun double dash track, but that's about it. And then the real stinker obviously is Sunset Wild. Seeing that one, how they messed that up so badly is really upsetting. And I know it's just one track and it shouldn't necessarily drag the whole wave down, but when you've got other waves around it that just made the graphics so much better to all of their tracks, you take a look at Wave 5 and a few of the tracks just necessarily didn't work for me. Because of that, I wasn't necessarily as excited about this wave as I was with others. However, we got beautiful additions such as PD Piranha and Vancouver Velocity, so Wave 5 is still a pretty solid wave in my opinion, just not as good as the other ones we have in the book. Coming in at number 3, we got Wave 4. That is correct, ladies and gents. Now, while Wave 5 definitely had the better characters, as we only got Birdo and 8 other color variations of Birdo, might I add you, the courses in Wave 4 were just so much better in my opinion. I mean, we got a fully revamped and freshly looked GBA Riverside Park. We got DK Summit, which looks and sounds incredible. We got Yoshi's Island, an original track. Yes, it was in Mario Kart Tour, but oh my lord, the Yoshi's Island fan service is beautiful and it just fits so well as a Mario Kart track. Then the Boomerang Cup, consisting of Bangkok Rush, Mario Circuit from DS, Waluigi Stadium, which looks absolutely incredible, and then the Holy Grail Singapore Speedway. I think we all can admit Singapore is one of the best tracks in the entire Booster Course Pass. Holy cow, it looks great. The nighttime visuals are stunning and the music just hits so different. Like, honestly, when it comes to this wave, Amsterdam is really the only track that I'm just kind of like, it's an okay track. The other ones are either pretty darn good or just absolute bangers. So wave 4, despite not having the characters to hold over compared to wave 5, its course quality is miles better and very deserving of the number 3 spot. Coming in at number 2, now let me explain myself, guys. Don't click away just yet, but at number 2 is wave 3. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand wave 3 did not have any characters that came with this wave, but this was the first wave to fundamentally change Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as we know it. This was the first wave to start setting some bounce patches to the game, and then we also got an unexpected mode that no one expected but everybody wanted, is custom items. Again, not necessarily a mode, but an extra selectable option to further customize your races and make them so much better, to more unique and tailored to what you actually want to race with. Custom items was just so huge and unlocked a whole new array of challenges and ideas and just ways to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You can do all spiny shells, you can do all coins if you want. I don't know why anyone would do that. You can do all bullet bills. The addition of custom items was just absolutely huge that it made sense to put wave 3 all the way up here, and I haven't even talked about the courses yet. Now, I will admit there aren't as many fantastic courses in wave 3 as there are in wave 4, but with the exception of GBA Boo Lake, I am pretty fine with playing on any of these tracks. The best ones, in my opinion, of course, are 3DS Rainbow Road, Maple Treeway. Even Berlin Byways is pretty darn good as well, with London Loop, Merry Mountain, and Peach Gardens not being too far behind. All pretty respectable races and fun to race on. So still solid tracks. Again, not as good as wave 4's courses, but the addition of custom items and just changing the game in that way made it so much of a more impactful and better wave for me to generate that much more hype. And because of that, it takes my number 2 spot. But number 1, no surprising hot takes here. It is wave 6. Of course, I know it's just a couple days old, but no matter how long we wait to make this video, wave 6 is always going to be the best one. It's got a fantastic, consistent quality of tracks. It's got 4 incredible characters, 3 incredible characters and Peachette. It's got 18 new Mii racing suits, and they chose some fantastic ones, although I will be missing some of the ones that they did leave out in tour. It added a music player so you can just listen exclusively to the music and all of its variations within that track. It added, surprisingly, online friend room IDs, so you don't need to have everyone's friend code to be able to play friend rooms with them. You can just have them add an ID and they will automatically enter your friend room without necessarily being your Switch friend. And they added unique custom credits for the Booster Course Pass, specifically with its own music, which just sampled a bunch of the other tracks' music and remixed them in a way that just sounds absolutely incredible. There was also a bunch of bounce patches and stuff that happened in Wave 6 behind the scenes, such as nerfing bagging, shortening the item box restoration times, and just adding invincibility to a couple of frames. But none of that really matters too much. With that being said, though, the amount of content that they added to Wave 6 further just changed Mario Kart for the whole and added some huge quality of life updates that I honestly feel like I can't live without now, even if it's only a couple days old. And again, I'm mentioning all this without even talking about the tracks that much. I mean, DK Mountain is back. Fantastic track. Piranha Plant Cove is incredible. Madrid Drive is one of my favorite city tracks in the entire Booster Course Pass. They actually did Rosalina's Ice Road pretty good. Probably my favorite version of Rosalina's Ice Road. And don't even get me started about SNES Bowser Castle 3 and Wii Rainbow Road, 2 of the best tracks in the entire Booster Course Pass, and the entire wave is fantastic. Wave 6 is my favorite wave in the Booster Course Pass. Why isn't it? It completes the entirety of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It is the end of an era, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my members for supporting me in that extra financial way. I really do appreciate you guys, and I want to thank all of you guys for watching the video as well. If you are new and like this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of it. Comment down below what your favorite wave of the Booster Course Pass is. I definitely would love to know. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay all pro. Again, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out of here.